All right, hey everybody. We're about to get started here. So here are your announcements. As always, we have membership for you all to purchase. $10 for year-long membership, $6 for just the semester. We have t-shirts as per usual, $10 for members, $15 for non-members. There are no sodas today because we found out through a little bit of research that rectangular shaped objects containing carbonated drinks are not affected by wormhole technology, so they were left at our old location and did not teleport here with the rest of our equipment. Interesting findings. I encourage you to look into that paper later. As per usual, once again, Facebook is still Facebooking, Twitter is still Twittering, and the email is still emailing. We had a lot of events over the past week, but don't worry, we are not slowing down anytime soon. Artemis Night is coming up, STAR and CSC. We're going to be hosting an event full of computer-simulated Starship Adventure. That is from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 11/12 in Golisano, 3560. We also have a hot drink fundraiser going on this week. That's Friday, November 11th. It's going to be from about 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you're interested in helping out, you can talk to Taylor. Yes, Taylor. Are you just waving to everybody?
If you're interested in helping out, talk to me, or just like come by and get yourself a hot drink.
Yeah, get a hot drink, hang out with star people. We're pretty cool, I think. I like to think I am.
No,
nerd. That hurts. That cuts deep. From my own captain. Et tu, captain? One other thing going on is Saturday from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Over at The Walk. If you go eat there and then put your receipt in a box at the front, you can support STAR and all of our STAR-related activities and get a meal as well. So now on to our main presentation. What's the deal with wormholes? With Alex Froyo and some scientist guy.
How do you not know that? Seinfeld. How do you not know Seinfeld?
So welcome to What is the Deal with Wormholes? I'm your host, Alex Froyo. Obviously, the title came off of a tagline that Seinfeld says every now and then. Yes, Joe?
Why is the B-movie guy there?
He paid me a lot of money.
Also that makes it sci-fi.
Yeah. As long as the B-movie guy is here, that we are qualified to talk about it. Yes.
More like sci-fi.
All right. So, we're here today to talk about wormholes and how they work and some of the physics behind wormholes. So for that, I guess Derek has to switch in because
I guess I'll talk about physics because I sort of know physics.
So I'm covering sea worms or only terrestrial ones?
terrestrial ones.
Yeah. So how many of you have seen Interstellar? Is that everyone? Okay, how many of you have seen the metaphor where a wormhole is just where if you see space as a piece of paper, then a wormhole is as if you folded the paper in half and poked a hole through the paper.
Excuse me, that wasn't Event Horizon before Interstellar?
But Interstellar did it better.
There's been a lot of things before Interstellar.
It was in Wrinkle in Time first, but they didn't call it a wormhole then. They called it a wrinkle in time.
It was the same thing that was ever all the other ones, but it's very good.
Anyway.
Say that people who watch the MCU will get confused.
Anyway, the main point is a wormhole is just a break in space that joins 2 points that would otherwise be very far from each other. So rather than going across the surface, you just take the shortcut between. If you imagine space as a big curved sheet of
Where's the paper
fabric.
plate?
I don't need a paper plate.
You could just use an iPhone 6.
What?
So imagine you want to get from S to D.
You want this to go back.
So if you imagine space as this kind of fluid, foldy thing, you would fold it in half and take your thumbtack and puncture a hole between S and D, and then you can go through that hole. But if you view space as flat, then you've traveled this distance by traveling almost no distance at all. Okay.
Now you have a
So-
contact.
Another thing that people don't usually talk about is gravitational lensing. In Interstellar, they had a real science advisor on the team. He actually mapped out how a wormhole would look. You see a rather low res but still accurate shot here. Wormholes actually do have gravity. They, according to a lot of theories, have gravity, and that creates a lensing effect. So you see kind of the other side lensed and smushed on there. And yeah, traveling through a wormhole is as if it's no different from simply walking from one side of the hole to the other. There's no weird space effect that happens in between, or there shouldn't be. So,
Hey,
well,
it looks cooler that way.
but it looks cooler that way. So theoretically, you should be able to jump through and come flying out the other side as if.
So the portal's from portal.
Speedy
Yes,
thing goes in,
exactly.
speedy thing comes out.
Exactly. As you can see, goes in fast, comes out fast. And since you're literally just crossing space, no time dilation.
Sometimes it's described as a sort of linked time. For example, in Stargate, you can have a mirrored effect of the gravity from one side to the other. Best shown in the episode where there's a black hole on the other side of the Stargate, and they literally cannot shut it off.
This is a wormhole as depicted by Interstellar. As you can see, it just sort of isn't like a sort of reflection of what's in front of it.
Well, it's in Interstellar, the model wormholes as spheres, because space isn't two-dimensional like a sheet of paper. It's three-dimensional like, well, space. So if you add one dimension to the round hole that you have in that model, you end up with a sphere, as the guy in Interstellar said, if you watch that movie, which you all should if you haven't seen it. If you've seen it, you should probably go watch it again. It's a great movie.
So wormholes in fiction in general are used as a plot device to present to the audience some sort of interesting question, or as just the main focus of the show. For example, Stargate SG-1 uses it as a constant tool to get their characters to where they need to be for the plot. In World Trigger, that's where most of the risk in the show comes from, where aliens from other universes pass over into our world to try and kidnap us for an ability that everyone has inherently. Yes.
Or beat up Seth Rogen.
I do not know what you're drawing from.
That recent movie.
Which movie?
The one with the cartoon foods.
Oh, Sausage Party. Okay. I never knew that in a discussion about wormholes we'd be talking about Sausage Party, but okay.
Yeah, at the end of that movie, they go through a wormhole at the end of that movie. It's
We're
weird.
just like spoiling the hell out of it. Oh my god.
We apparently.
Who cares? It's legitimately a great scene.
Oh my god.
It's a legitimately great
Um, We also have Power Rangers, both SPD and Time Force, making use of it. One for being able to team up two Power Rangers teams, and the other one making use of wormholes to travel through time.
You remember that dude?
We've only started reading that in book club recently, and I've never read it before.
It was a joke because there's giant sandworms that make holes.
We will talk about sandworms later, because those are quite literal wormholes. We've got Thor with the Bifrost, Portal with the actual portal gun, and finally Interstellar, which Derek has talked about. Most of these make use of wormholes as the plot device that gets the plot going. Yes?
Deep Space Nine?
We'll talk about that. If you would like to talk a bit about it now and how that works.
No, if you got it later on, then.
All right. Does anybody else have any more examples of famous wormholes in fiction? Yes.
Futurama, where like red waves and blue microwaves collided, sending them back in time.
I'm not sure if that's more of a form of time travel or
Was
yeah, okay. Yes. Al. 2001: A Space Odyssey, going through the Kubrick. Yes, Zach.
that episode of Next Generation with the wormhole that doesn't work at all, like the wormhole in Deep Space Nine?
Oh yeah, we have that on here. We'll talk about that one later. Yes, John. Did you find the worm that caused it?
Stop eating the apple.
Yes.
Boom tubes from the DC universe.
Boom tubes from the DC universe. That is a good example I had forgotten about. Aren't they usually? They're usually controlled, right?
Yeah.
You usually have like a mother box or a father box
Yeah.
to do things like that. Yes.
Green pipes from Mario.
I think those are just pipes.
That's pipes he's like.
It depends. Like in
Well,
Mario Galaxy, they're probably wormholes.
Yes.
I mean, they are on different planets, and you don't see pipes between the planets.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
Or
in
the third Mario
games,
Luigi game where there are pipes that lead from Bowser back to the outside world.
All right, Zach.
Well, do time portals have like wormholes?
Some do, some do not. And one of the good reasons for that is essentially Doctor Who makes a good example of this. We see the TARDIS traveling through what looks like a wormhole, but is really more of a time dimension that flows that the Doctor can just travel through with the TARDIS. Any more? All right, moving on to the different types of wormholes. For example, controlled wormhole travel, and oh boy, do we have a lot of those. As some of the examples, we have Stargate Command in Cheyenne Mountain, or Stargate SG-1, and any other bases that the humans set up. The controlled wormhole travel is defined by the fact that the protagonists themselves are in control of the wormhole. They choose where they want to go, and sometimes shut it down. For example, the Bifrost in Thor cannot be operated without its guardian. You can try, but you're going to need a lot of magic to get to where you're going. Then we also have the away ships from World Trigger, where you just load them up with a bunch of energy and they just pop in on the other universe using wormhole technology. We've got the warp in Warhammer 40K, and that one gets a bit dicey. The warp in how you travel through wormholes in Warhammer 40K is essentially you're jumping from one dimension to another, to which is in which the distance between 2 points is less than in your regular dimension. Traveling through the warp is very, very dangerous, and most of the time you'll hear people talk about something called a Geller field. And a Geller field is essentially yes, Cameron?
So what differentiates a controlled wormhole travel device from a teleporter?
Essentially, a controlled wormhole does most of the job for you.
A teleporter disassembles your atoms and reassembles them somewhere else, where the wormhole lets you move from place to place without tearing yourself apart at the atomic level.
Yes. However, it can be argued that the wormholes in Stargate are more of a teleporter because they do exactly that. And how they do that is they deconstruct your body and then compress the data to send through a wormhole. Which is why in the first few episodes of Stargate, you'll notice that some people come out with frost on their shoulders and on their faces due to the compression effect on their cells. Aside from that, we have the time tunnel from Power Rangers Time Force, where their Zords get sent in from, because apparently you could just send giant robots through, but not get them back through time easily enough. And finally, we have the portal doors from Monsters Incorporated. I think everyone here has seen that movie. Yes.
Do we need to talk about parallel universes?
Yes, we do. A lot of the time, wormholes are used to blink from one storyline in one universe to another. For example, Dark Matter makes use of this with their. Does anybody mind spoilers about Dark Matter? No? Yes, I guess. It's kind of edgy. You can ask Mario more about how to be edgy. They make use of a blink drive, which uses a wormhole to get from point A to point B in space, much like how Derek described it. And misusing it in a way that doesn't calibrate it for the time differential between 2 points of space will send you to an alternate universe. Yes, Joe.
You mentioned the doors in Monsters Inc. However, those are more of time doors actually. They
How
travel
so?
over time, not space. If you listen to the overall Pixar theory connecting all the movies in which monster they take place in the very far future.
Okay, is that canon? No. Okay, Alex.
What about from Rick and Morty?
Rick and Morty,
Yeah.
the wormholes,
Portal device.
the portal device,
The other portal gun.
Yeah, the other portal.
the other portal
Require
gun.
white cancer carcinogenic moon paint function.
The portal gun from Rick and Morty just makes use of wormholes to just travel between the different universes. And there's not much to it other than Rick probably has something extremely illegal powering that portal gun. And if you get your hands on it, you might as well get arrested by the intergalactic police. Yeah.
Since space and time aren't technically separate things, and a wormhole is just a point connecting two points in space-time, a wormhole could be used to travel through time. Therefore, the Monsters Inc. doors, even if they are just traveling through time, are still wormholes.
Ah.
Yeah.
Are you implying then that the monsters from Monsters Inc. are from either our past or future?
They're from the future.
Okay. So are they us from the future?
What?
So are the monsters in Monsters Inc. us from the future?
I mean, people would have to change to adapt to the form of the environment after Yeah.
Okay, apparently now we accept that Monsters Inc. is about a bunch of mutated people.
It's like 7,000 years.
Okay, then how do screams from unmutated youth give them power?
Sound technology.
Sound technology. Let's go with that.
It's actually the emotions of the sphere associated with the screams as energy source we see.
All right, Zach.
Well, I thought wormholes, you can't go to another universe in my head, only
Okay.
the current universe.
So there's a very common trope called "our wormholes are different," where wormholes are used, again, as a plot device to get characters from point A to point B, much like in Rick and Morty. Now, the use of wormholes might be wrong in our understanding of physics. However, in the understanding of physics for that universe, it makes sense.
What? No.
Just not a lot of shows base their wormholes in science, much like Interstellar tried to do. They just use it as a convenient little thing that they can write down and say, because wormholes, and poof, we're suddenly in the Emerald City in Oz.
What if they go to another universe and there's something else and not a wormhole? A different thing.
It's hard to say because when you talk about bending space and time, that gets dicey. Yes.
So wormholes do have some sort of grounding in physics then, and
Some do, some don't.
Okay.
It really depends on what series you're talking about. For example, Stargate, they try to appeal with a lot of tech mumbo jumbo, or Derek, what do you call that? Technobabble? Technobabble. But a lot of it eventually builds on its own physics of the show. For example, the show's own lensing effect or mirror effect from gravity wells from across the gate. Shown in the episode where they open up to a black hole and half of the Earth gets time dilated. And I don't know how they explain away how nobody on Earth noticed that the United States was 3 months behind in time to the rest of the world.
so what you're telling me is that according to all known laws of physics, wormholes, choose your one like B's ability to fly is grounded in our world. And have people bothered to tell this to the wormholes?
No, they have not. All right, so here we have a picture of the Bifrost. It's very pretty. It works on magical technology from Thor's world. Does anybody know whether the technology in Thor's world from the MCU is magical or technological?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, we have an answer for that. Yeah.
Its technology still advanced. It is perceived as magic for both the Asgardians and for humans, basically, because they can't really describe it either when they try to.
But it might be magic.
Okay. From there, we go on to accidental wormhole use. The likes that are found in the Great Portal from Planet Hulk, the tear in Farscape that brought our protagonist through to the main plot. The unstable wormhole from Star Trek TNG that's stranded two Ferengis out in the middle of what, the Delta or Gamma Quadrant? I don't remember which one. I think it was the Delta Quadrant. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right. It's
Alright.
Delta because they find them in Voyager.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. And finally, the tear in space and time from Gravity Falls, where bringing back a spoiler character literally creates a little tear that, if the containment is broken, will tear the fabric of space and time, allowing other universes in.
Like Rick and Morty.
Like Rick and Morty. Notably, the definition for an accidental wormhole use is quite literally, you didn't intend to open this wormhole, but hey, here it is, and suddenly we're in liberal arts A205. Derek, don't mess with wormholes anymore, please.
I'm sorry, I thought I should educate myself for a mission. I'll leave the product list on your home next time.
Does anybody here have any other examples of accidental wormholes? Yes.
The nexus of all reality is Marvel Comics.
The nexus of all reality?
Yes, it is located in the Florida Everglades, and it is a wormhole that pulls people in from various universes, which is how both Man-Thing and Howard the Duck ended up on Earth 616, as well as several other characters.
Is Gwenpool in that list?
Unconfirmed as of now.
Okay.
And then recently, Howard somehow fused with the nexus of all realities and became it, so that anyone who touched him could be sent to wherever they most want to go. Or wherever he most wanted to go, whichever one had the stronger thought.
Joe, you know way too much about Howard the Duck. That reminds me of also the Web Warriors from the Spider-Man continuity, where some of them are able to travel at will, some of them have just stumbled through the web of universes and just, I don't know what I just, oh, that's a vitamin. Hi, yes.
Is the ghost portal from Danny Phantom a wormhole?
Oh, yeah.
You can describe it as a wormhole, yeah.
Well, there's a fan theory which says no.
Oh my god.
There's a fan theory that is actually the device that killed him, made him an actual ghost, and that is why he can go to.
But the vehicles from the real world can go into the ghost world.
Oh, yeah, this is true. This is true.
Like, you literally travel from your world to a ghost
Well,
world.
the official explanation is that they're not ghosts, they're just all delusional. They
So-
all think they were people once, but they weren't.
Oh, I mean, here's the thing, though. The cafeteria lady quite clearly remembers the menu from the school.
Delusional.
Yes, John.
What about the chalk circles from Chalk Zone?
Yes! The chalk circles from Chalk Zone can only be a wormhole because it takes you to a world drawn out of chalk. But that also doesn't make sense because that means that if the chalk zone is real, then we should have been harnessing chalk as a source of power for many, many years. And it makes no sense.
It's a cartoon.
Maybe it's not even.
Only the special chalk could make the portals.
I know that only the special chalk could make the portals, but according to the show's own lore, there were several children who had special chalk. That there is no more special chalk for anyone is because an especially bad kid drew the guardian that guards the chalk cave, and I know way too much about this show. I just realized.
Pretty impressed.
Any other Nicktoons with wormholes that we should talk about?
Yes,
But would you remind us who possesses this chalk?
Rudy's got the chalk zone. But those are all examples of non-accidental wormholes. Those are all controlled. For example, Rudy with the chalk. For example, well, actually no. Danny Phantom's portal can be an accident and just accidentally open up for ghosts. Or, you know, his dad can just be pressing the button one episode, just letting out all the ghosts in the ghost zone for no apparent reason.
But his folks, we just quit, and Danny took a look inside of it.
Oh my God.
There's no way a bee should be able to fly. Its wings are too small.
No.
No. Why do we keep coming back to B movies?
You have Jerry Seinfeld on the screen.
Where's Jerry Seinfeld? I don't see him.
He's slowly rising. Right there. Right there.
All right. By the way, so let's talk about these wormholes. So the Great Portal from Planet Hulk is something that's just a little bit far away from Earth, just a few light years away. And Hulk's ship, it's launched by the Illuminati, managed to get caught in it and sent all the way to, I forgot what the planet name is, but Scar. Thank you. To Scar. One of the notable things about this wormhole is it has a ton of gamma radiation in it. So when you were thrust through it, you should expect to come out the other end almost dead. Which is true for a lot of wormholes that are unstable. If you attempt to walk through a wormhole and it is unstable, you might as well be killing yourself. Or, you know, stranding yourself in another piece of space, like the Ferengi did in Star Trek The Next Generation, where they did not heed Data and Geordi's warnings that the wormhole would eventually shift positions. Going off of that, external wormholes can also bring in Lovecraftian horrors from other universes, such as the likes of Bill Cipher and his friends in Gravity Falls. And, you know, in Farscape, it can just bring the protagonist where he needs to be, just for the first episode. Moving on to third-party controlled wormholes. Now, I tried to come up with more examples for this, but I couldn't think of a lot where the protagonists don't have active control of the wormhole. One of the most prominent examples of this is the Bajoran wormhole from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Now you may argue, yeah, the Federation is in control of the wormhole, but they don't dictate whether or not people can go through the wormhole. Instead, the wormhole beings do. They're the ones in control of everything. If Cisco didn't go in there and ask them to keep the wormhole open for mortals, it would never work. It would just probably decide to close down and move out elsewhere. It's a very temperamental wormhole. Then we've got the Breach from Pacific Rim, which is deep in the Marianas Trench, controlled by the aliens who made the kaiju. They use it as a way to immediately send new kaiju through to kill us. And finally, we have the wormhole weapon from Farscape, where it literally pushes all your enemies into an unstable wormhole and kills them in it after it shuts closed. Yes.
Cyber chase, you know, when Motherboard summons the kids to help out in the world of homework.
Can you call Motherboard a protagonist? Or just a plot device? Yeah, okay. That is third.
I'm just saying because the kids don't have control over when they go to the cyber space and back.
They really know the world's here, and they're like, whoa, bring me all those things.
Yeah. Zach?
Okay, you forgot the wormhole from Interstellar in the part where it's supposed to go.
Where it's supposed to go?
Yeah, it's a third-party control wormhole.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. I forgot that it was... Does anybody mind Interstellar spoilers?
It's been out forever.
Okay, so... Is it theorized or is it confirmed that the wormhole is controlled by us in the future?
That's what they say.
They put it there, yeah.
Yeah, we put the wormhole there because we no longer have we can no longer perceive in 3 dimensions. We instead perceive in 5 dimensions, I think it was, in Interstellar, the future us. No, and that only came through after we gained a huge understanding of how time itself moves through space. Let's see, I'm trying to think of another one. Does anybody have any more examples? Yeah?
Not exactly wormholes, but the 5 different New York cities during Christ Center, there was where each Earth overlapped with each other.
Would you like walk through the street and then suddenly
you were on the other Earth?
Okay. Yes, John.
Didn't the giant space heads teleport Earth through a wormhole to participate in the giant intergalactic American Idol competition?
I think you mean intergalactic.
I think intergalactic.
You said American.
Okay. The intergalactic America.
Far, far away aisle.
Far, far away aisle. Yes, they did. That is a good example. And, you know, somebody has to say the line.
Show me what you got.
Which is very amusing. So, moving on from that, we go on to the risks of wormholes. Does anybody here know whether or not we have a way of detecting whether a wormhole is nearby? No? Yes?
Well, the alarms start going off.
Where?
Everywhere.
In the Stargate room.
Yeah, in the Stargate room. Okay. As far as I know, the only way we can really detect wormholes near us is in a shift of gravity wells, as Derek described it. But as fiction may have it, it's not that easy because every wormhole works differently. If left unguarded, it can be an attack vector by enemies. For example, in Stargate, the Stargate is assaulted many times because you cannot choose who dials into your Stargate, except for by placing a giant metal sheet over the Stargate about 0.5 microns from the event horizon. And as you can see, it shuts down very neatly like that. And anybody who tries to materialize just gets their molecules splatted onto a sheet of metal. Yeah?
I wasn't really listening a lot, but in Big Hero 6, when what's her name, the daughter, gets into the ship and goes through the portal, was that a wormhole?
Yes, actually it is.
Okay, where is she?
So some works of fiction have wormholes that instead of going from one point of space to another, take you to a different dimension where points A and B, the distance between A and B is short. If you, for example, a good example of this is Minecraft. When you walk into the nether and you walk 1 block away, that's the same as walking 16 blocks in the regular world. And you can, from there, you can probably see how much easier it is to get from point A to point B through a different dimension, just using a wormhole to get back to your own dimension when you think you're far enough. As I said before, the Ultramarines of Warhammer 40K use this type of wormhole travel to get from point A to point B all the time. Not to mention that FTL travel can also be started with wormholes. Other risks of wormholes include, if left uncontrolled, can possibly cause massive tragedies, much like the black hole lensing in that episode of Stargate, or just having an unstable wormhole in general near the Earth. We could start having stuff pulled through the wormhole to another part of space, and possibly a lot of people getting pulled with it. And as stated before, wormholes can be very unstable if left uncontrolled, and just pop you out in different spots of the universe. It's like it did with Frightening. Any questions? Yes?
You forgot about the risk of wormholes.
Enlighten
You
us.
might go through them, you might end up in some sort of inhospitable landscape or something like that.
That's true. You could do that. Unless you're smart, like the people of Stargate, where they send robots through first to check if everything's all right on the other side. What?
You missed what I was trying to say. I was trying to make a joke.
Oh.
Some sort of inhospitable landscape.
God damn it. All right, yes.
So what about the roller coaster ride that brings Hank and his friends to the realm of Dungeons and Dragons?
Are you talking about the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon?
Yes.
I mean, if you don't want to go to a fantasy world, I'll take your spot. Yes, Alex.
What about the government builds between the real world and imagination land in South Park?
What? That's a thing?
That happened.
Yeah. How is that a thing?
Something to do with terrorists.
Yeah.
Okay, why is the government building a portal to Imagination Land? Because terrorists.
The terrorists have.
You need to watch it to understand. We can't explain it to the spend the whole time.
It's South Park.
All right.
So, I have a question about a risk of the wormhole.
Yeah.
And hear me out. It's going to start with actual worms that I'm going to.
All right.
So, actual worms are bioturbators, which means when they dig their holes, they like mix the soil and the nutrients together. So when you make one of these wormholes and they're digging through space, do they mix things in the soil of space together?
No.
In some works of fiction, yes. The best way I can explain this is in Stargate, wormholes are quite literally tunnels through space, which can be affected by solar flares, for example, because of incident radiation changing how the wormholes work. For example, if you have enough data on said solar flares, you could turn the Stargate into a time machine. Yay! And that's the plot of Stargate Continuum. Moving on to the benefits of wormholes. One of which one of the benefits, which is apparently ate my fourth point.
Wormhole?
Yeah, that's not a benefit at all. It ate my benefit.
Excellent live demo.
Yeah, exactly. You would need yes.
A benefit of wormholes is that sometimes you can just shove things you don't want to be around into them and then close the wormhole. Gosh darn it, I can't believe I'm actually going through and I'm going to quote Family Guy in this, but having a trash dimension where you send all the trash to. Not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea.
Save the earth, Brian.
It's a funny
Isn't that effectively reducing the mass in our own universe?
We would just steal stuff from their dimension and put it in the trash there.
Yes, John.
Would you propose wormholes as one of the mechanisms by which anime girls can pull hammers out of hammer space?
By that logic, wouldn't that mean that whenever wizards in Harry Potter use the spell for large spaces in bags, they're effectively creating wormholes as well?
Oh wait, yeah. Isn't Reaper's hammer space confirmed to be a wormhole? Like Reaper pulls guns out of?
I don't know. I don't know if he just has a bag behind his back where it's.
There's a portal to hell, and there's just demons in there constantly making shotguns just with ammo, and he just pulls out.
Why does
he scream the game skin?
Yes.
The pocket dimensions from Green Lantern store and then retrieve their power batteries count as normal.
I mean, you are effectively accessing another dimension, so yes. So as we've talked about, there's a lot of benefits to wormholes. Apparently, hammer space is one of them, where you can just infinitely store items and then just put your hand in and grab whatever you need out. Yes, Joe.
So one benefit of wormholes in Marvel Comics, I mentioned the Nexus earlier. One of the benefits was that it was given to Galactus so that he would have instant access to infinite uninhabited planets of each without being inhabited ones, so it would save the Earth.
Whose idea was that?
A new character named Scout who spent most of her life wanting to be a herald of Galactus, and so she gave him this gift so she could be his herald.
Oh, adorable.
The gift was Howard, who at that point was a portal. Was a wormhole.
Damn it, Joe.
Because he's literally been reading all of Howard the Duck over the past few months.
This is his most recent series.
No, but he was asking you how you know all of it.
Yeah, this is the most recent series. All of this is like in the past 10 issues.
God damn it. John.
So is it a wormhole through which Doctor Strange comes to bargain with Dormammu?
I don't know. I don't know. And spoilers, because Yeah.
It wasn't a spoiler until you said that because it was in the comics.
Bruce Willis in the comments.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah. Get from point A to point B. You can move objects very easily, like with the portal gun. You can, but you know, if you don't mind dropping them on their heads. Yes.
My favorite was they were pushing it was a quick escape. Someone followed them, so they shut it on them by setting them between the wormhole.
You can do that. Yes. That is very scary. But for example, some wormholes may have a safety feature that doesn't let them shut in the middle of an operation, like the stargates. If you stargates have a maximum operating time of 38 minutes, because that is how long the Nakoda generator allocates energy for the stargate to remain operational. However, if you manage to just stick your hand in and not move, the stargate will continue to be operational until you move on to the other side. I have been told that this gives your hand a very, very fuzzy feeling as you hold it there. Yes.
It's like the motion sensors in garage doors.
Yes, actually. We're using garage door sensors to keep wormholes open, essentially. Anything else? Okay, when did he get there?
He's always been there.
Has he?
Always like taking. Anybody else? What's the deal with Seinfeld?
So when's he gonna turn into a bee?
Unfortunately, not in this presentation. Finally, let's go over actual worms, which are holes that you go through. Namely, the Nidus worm from StarCraft, from the new expansion, I think? No, they're just a thing. And the wormholes in Don't Starve. They're actual worms that get sort of jump down and come out the other end, and I don't know why that's a thing. Somebody is really screwed up in the head. Yes?
Yeah, what about the asteroid from Empire Strikes Back?
The asteroid from
That was a slug.
That was a worm in a hole. There was a worm in a hole, not a worm hole you can travel through. I mean, you can make an argument that you can travel through its digestive tract, but I don't think you'd be in one piece to the other end.
Too far into the mountains are in it, and they. Never mind, whatever.
They were in the worm within the wormhole.
Yes. Yes.
So it's a wormhole? And they were going.
It's a worm square hole.
And then they had to leave through the wormhole's hole.
No, it's mouth.
Okay, mouth. But a mouth is still a hole.
Yes, but it's not the one that was referred to as people.
So it's a wormhole's hole that they had to travel through to get out.
Yes,
Oh.
they did back up.
So how this Nidus worm works is it literally burrows through the ground, and you suddenly have a access space to your enemy on the other side. And that's pretty much how it works in Don't Starve. Does anybody else know any fictional, literal, biological wormholes? No? Are these the only ones?
I mean, science fiction, I can think of the terrible ones from the Hobbit movies, but those aren't going through space, they're just stupid.
No, it doesn't need to go through space.
It was just they inserted a giant worm into the movie for no reason to burrow a hole through a mountain because they wanted to make a CGI worm. And it was dumb.
Derek, can you confirm this?
What?
The giant CGI worm from The Hobbit.
Yeah, it was
Why was that a thing?
why were the second two movies of that series a thing? Please tell me. I would like to know.
As far as I know, a lot of the fans were like, wow, this movie really keeps up with the pacing of the book. 3 movies, and then the fans shut up.
Are you familiar with the quest for more money?
Unfortunately.
The entire reason those movies.
Wait, did someone just talk about Spaceballs too?
Yes, the quest for more.
It's better than the Spaceballs cartoon.
All right. So something I realized mid-presentation is that some point in the future, we're going to start thinking about actual faster than light travel and how we can probably use a wormhole window to get to hyperspace. Anybody know about that?
I get.
Go on, Noah.
You make one side of the wormhole move really fast in a circle, like relativistically fast, and then you can go through the wormhole. That'll send you back in time. So I
Wait,
guess
what?
that's not very useful. Never mind. I'm thinking of a different thing.
What are you thinking about?
But this is actually a theorized thing of wormholes, where you like make one side of the wormhole connect, and you spin it around in a circle to go at near light speeds, and then if you go through the wormhole, you can go back in time.
That's pretty useful.
So what you're saying is we have a theory for a time machine,
Yeah.
but we have no way of obtaining it.
Yeah.
Also, it's Vince Savage's time machine in the DCAU. There was just a sphere sitting there of energy. You jumped in and you were suddenly in the past.
I thought you couldn't use that if you had a version of yourself in the past.
Yeah, you can do conversion all the time. That, you're right on that.
Because that's, if I recall, that's why he couldn't hop back, and then he could send Superman back.
Yeah.
But
you couldn't go back to Nazi Germany, so then your computer throws dead.
but wouldn't the computer eventually have occupied the same space and space and time once it got made in the future?
I don't think he thought his plan through then.
But as far as I understand it, the way that they use time wormholes in the DCAU is, well, I better send something that didn't exist in the past back. But as soon as it exists, everything's going to go to hell. Pretty much. That's a good question. Is the Speed Force a wormhole?
It's plot convenience. It is manifested plot convenience.
I mean, so are wormholes.
If you run fast enough.
If you run fast enough, you can go through parallel universes. Therefore, are you creating wormholes just by running through time?
Maybe the oscillations, you're vibrating your molecules into frequency of that universe.
God damn it. John.
So if, because of the speed force, if you move fast enough, you can go through time.
Did you just say speed force?
Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. We moved to the Speed Force, whether it can create wormholes. From the Flash. And if the Flash TV show is anything to go by, yeah, you can, because the Speed Force can literally do anything.
That's pretty much it. You can make clothing.
I'm pretty sure if the Speed Force wanted to go through college, it could. If only I could do my homework. Other than that, I'm kind of.
Is that it?
I know that it's only been like 50 minutes, but there's not much to talk about other than just wormholes in general.
So when we were talking about like the garage motion sensors,
Yeah.
what if we didn't have that?
Oh, you're kind of getting it off.
Horrible dissection.
You would lose your hand, but if you kind of like, you know what they do in the Star Wars movies, where if you cut off what limbs and they're just sort of burnt? It would be kind of like that because the molecules would just sort of shut the movement. Of course, it wouldn't hold it for very long. You'd still have to go to the hospital.
So unlike in Star Wars, it's authorized.
Yeah.
Next, that one time we'll go on with Dick and didn't have it on that setting.
I'm trying to think of like more useful wormholes. And did anybody watch Sliders? Sliders. No?
I prefer my hamburgers full size.
Which one? There's a lot of variations from the slide theme from Mario 64.
What? Alright. So, do you guys want to explain why there's a Seinfeld coming up? Yeah. I was really tired last night making these slides. And I just started thinking, man, it would be really funny if Seinfeld started staring at the audience midway through. Also, did anybody else notice the other Easter egg?
When it's November.
Head poking into the bottom.
No, wait, where? No. Other than the Seinfeld, there was another Easter egg that was only available on 3 slides.
Did you hide a Dio somewhere?
No. That was the Nerdopolis.
Was it the Mighty Ducks?
No.
Do you guys want me to go back so you can see?
Yes.
Sure. Okay, so hidden within these slides is a clip art pineapple at the bottom of every single Stargate image on this presentation.
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I see it.
And the reason for that, and it's even there, because this is how going through a wormhole in Stargate is depicted in the show. The reason for that is for a few episodes directed by the same director in Stargate, he would always hide in one scene of his episode a pineapple. Very clearly in the middle of the scene, including in a base in Antarctica on top of an oil drum. Yes.
So is the keyword, the puzzle at the end of the episode, pineapple?
Maybe. So, yes.
With the hyperspace lanes, which the original Star Wars expanded universe qualify, actually from the current Star Wars universe qualify as wormholes. They allow you to go from point A to point B faster than normal.
Okay. How exactly do they open the window for that type of travel?
You go really fast.
Yeah, but are they blue? Paths to go hyperspace?
No, that's the place where you can go hyperspace.
Okay, what Cameron just said is a good sequitur, not sequitur into why do we think wormholes are blue? If a wormhole is red, would you still think it's a wormhole?
No, because then you don't go fast.
Okay, elaborate on that.
Okay, the blue things. What is another thing that is blue and goes fast, Froyo?
Flash.
There you go.
You got it. Two wormholes gotta go slow, Froyo.
But here we don't go at all. That's the point.
The Flash is not faster than
Okay.
I'll fight you.
The fastest thing around, Cooper. The first line of the Sonic
The Sonic SP force. It's not the first line, it's the last.
The first line of escaping the city is roaring around the speed of sound.
Yeah.
And the Flash go faster than the speed of sound.
Okay. Go fast as real light.
It doesn't mean that that's his maximum speed. That's his leisurely walk through the city speed.
All right, so who wants to describe what they think of a wormhole? What do they think a wormhole would look like?
Scientists actually know.
What? Well, at least no. I'm talking about generally in fiction. If you didn't know much about physics, what would you think it looks like?
A black hole, but less scary.
Okay. You.
Basically, if you're looking at this right now, there's just a circular area that is not what you're supposed to be looking at, and it is instead something completely different.
Okay.
But wouldn't it be a sphere?
Yes.
I was like the Stargate.
You mean the shimmering water thing?
Exactly.
Yes, Zach.
Before I saw Interstellar, probably something like Portal. After I saw Interstellar, basically portals, but they're spheres instead of circles. And if someone writes that game, I will buy it.
Derek.
But more seriously, like it's effectively a portal. I think it would be a portal that you can enter from any side, rather than having to affix it to a wall.
Okay. So a lot of the mysticism behind wormholes can be brought back to our sheer lack of knowledge about them. And the reason we usually think of them as blue is what's more mysterious than some glowing blue thing?
A glowing purple thing.
A glowing red thing.
A glowing white thing.
Hey, no, because glowing red and glowing purple are scary. The sort of blue is a
Wormholes are scary.
The
Yeah.
blue blur.
The blue flare?
Yeah.
Purple's the new blue.
But if you think about color temperatures a lot, if you want to present to your audience a friendly wormhole, wouldn't you think of the color blue?
No.
A yellow wormhole with dots.
That's not a wormhole. You just described an emoji.
I think it'd be green.
Green is go.
Green is go. You go. That's good.
Yeah, green is go, red is dead.
Clear.
Yes.
You're talking to me?
Yeah.
I think Western.
I don't know if you've got this one, but there's a theory in Pacific Rim that the reason the kaiju can adapt to understanding mankind technology so quickly is because time is moving differently on the other side of the wormhole. Do you have anything to say about relative time movement?
I do actually, and Derek actually tried to correct me on this the other day, saying that instead of that, the aliens just have a pipeline of kaiju set up for manufacturing.
And so they just sent the most appropriate ones of all the ones they happen to have?
Think of it as prototyping.
That's what I was
Just have like 15 stuff at any given time.
And they're like, ah, yes, after all of this time, we take out the one with the EMP instead of literally years ago.
Maybe that was more time for effect. Like every time they finally got it done, it just had a hair trigger temper go off.
Taylor, isn't those all the Charlie driven the kaiju, them knowing what the egos are basically?
Yeah, but how are they gonna grow a whole other kaiju between the time that Charlie drifts with one and the time that Otachi and Leatherback show up?
Time differences?
That's what I'm saying, time differences.
Yes.
Your explanation of how the kaiju are just like made on the other side to be sent out as needed. So basically,
That's not my explanation, that's Derek's.
so you're saying that on the other side of the time is a bunch of aliens just getting the next kaiju ready for whenever one is needed in the same way that in the Hell Dimension, people are just making guns so we Reaper runs out of ammo?
Yes.
It's just like the monsters in Power Rangers too. They just make them as they need them.
They just keep throwing more troops to the problem until it disappears.
Yeah.
So in summation, all alien wormhole users are sort of descended from the Russians.
Can anybody remember what the color of the Bajoran wormhole is?
I try to forget that show.
Wow. Wow.
It's actually the worst Star Trek show.
Also a wormhole system that the Borg use. I don't know if it's the same thing.
Yes, it actually is a wormhole system called the Transwarp Network.
Yeah.
World with the warp.
No. The
Warp is going fast.
warp is just make wave, put ship on wave. You can
What
affect.
about the warp from Warhammer?
The warp from Warhammer does use wormholes because you're going through to a different dimension, which is the warp, to get from point A to point B faster. But you have to go through the warp, so you have to use a wormhole to get to that dimension. Yeah, make sure your Galliffield is on, otherwise you will go insane. Well, but the Ultramarines won't because they're OP. Yes.
There's portals in the new Call of Duty and Infinite Warfare zombie map.
Call of Duty is no longer realistic.
Okay, why?
It's a space theme park.
Yeah.
That doesn't answer my question.
I don't know why.
Because future
Call of Duty needs new ideas.
John.
Actually, the real Call of Duty Zombies has had wormholes and teleporters for a long time that are used for traveling through time.
Okay, don't remind me.
Hey, don't talk quick about their race.
Okay. Are you talking about the fact that you can sort of hear the ethereal voices of some of the original characters in some of the Call of Duty maps?
No, they have literally the whole Easter egg for each map is literally the continuity of the zombie storyline. It's absolutely bonkers ridiculous.
I don't know. So if something is bonkers ridiculous, is that consistent writing or not? Never mind, I'm a fan of JoJo, don't answer that.
As long as it makes sense in universe.
It depends. It's either intentional or not. If it's intentional, yes. If it's not intentional, still yes.
What?
Exactly.
Okay.
I just know that.
Cooper, what's your favorite wormhole?
I'm failing this other one. Because like Zach, I thought wormholes would be just holes, but having that spheres makes much more sense after seeing that.
But why do spheres make more sense?
Because wormholes is essentially a break in the space-time continuum, and that wouldn't be a 2D, it would be a 3D object because space-time is 3D, basically.
What about Stanley Kubrick's take on the wormhole? Yes.
I should amend my description. I think we would perceive them as spheres, because if you have a two-dimensional hole in three-dimensional space, then you would have a perceivable, like, backside to the two-dimensional
Yeah,
hole.
I mean, space-time is 40, so a hole in that would be 3D?
It would be something
yeah.
that we, as people who perceive three-dimensional space, would perceive as a three-dimensional hole. But it would, to use the pin through paper metaphor, it would be a hole punched in three-dimensional space using a four-dimensional pin.
So just like a
it would
void ball.
Yeah, it would be a hole that we perceive as a three-dimensional sphere.
Yes, John.
Two-dimensional hole to a three-dimensional sphere.
But then there's a backside to it. How does that work? I mean, I know how it works in Portal, but it kind of breaks the game.
Can we stop breaking physics, please?
But wormholes do that. You can't not break physics right now.
No. If something happens because physics allows it, it doesn't break physics. John, did you have something? No. Okay. But yeah, so if you'll notice through the slides, there's a lot of blue wormholes, including the blue lightning of the breach from Pacific Rim. Does anybody have any reason to believe they shouldn't be blue? Yes.
When you go really fast, things turn red.
Yes, but red is the color of blood. That's
actually,
not what the audience thinks. Yes.
As you approach this,
isn't a subtle hint that that's actually Emperor Palpatine on the other side of
That's like the whole the shit.
Okay. First of all, what? And second of all, why haven't you written that?
Crossover, I think that probably Newt and Podameron would get along.
Wait, Pacific Rim and Star Wars?
Pacific Rim and Star Wars, yes. But isn't Star Wars a long time ago? So would you make that one?
Wormholes! Wormholes!
So we're saying that Palpatine has the power to open wormholes now.
So Taylor, what you're saying is Jaegers with lightsabers.
The power of the Force.
Isn't Gypsy Danger's sword already kind of a lightsaber? I guess not. I guess it is metal. I guess it's mechanical and it extends.
I know Striking Rigors was superheated, so it cauterizes the runes, kind of like a lightsaber. But here's a question: would a Jedi use the use of Force while piloting a Jaeger? Very important questions right now.
I think they would.
Okay.
Because Luke can use the Force while flying next wing, so.
Yeah. So wait. So why don't more Jedi have max?
That's a important question.
Yes, Joe.
Is traveling by map form a wormhole?
What?
Traveling by map.
Is the map blue?
No, it's map colors.
No, generally the lights on the maps are red
I'm
lines.
the one you need to know. I'm the map.
I know in Indiana Jones and Muppet universe, the map lines are always red.
Yeah.
Wait,
No.
If it's red, it's not a wormhole.
What?
Red's the fastest color.
Yeah.
But blue.
The group had
It's literally blue on almost every slide.
Interstellar is blue.
What do you think the text is blue?
Are you implying Stargate is grounded in reality?
Froyo.
In politics, yes.
Froyo.
Not in
The
science.
wormhole will be the color of the thing on the other side that's shining light through it. Boom. It can be any color. How about that?
In my experience, worms are pink.
What about?
Except for sea worms, they're colorful.
Oh my God, this is so much more amusing when you just sort of scroll through. But yeah, that worm isn't. Wait, it is pink. Never mind, Joe. You're right. They're pink.
They're big, hairy.
Sea worms
Scary.
You realize Patrick?
I'm sorry. This is too amusing.
Would the Alaskan bull wormhole be a stronger, more efficient version of a regular wormhole?
Explain?
Explain.
The Alaskan bullworm!
What is an Alaskan
That's
bullworm?
from SpongeBob.
It's big, it's pink, it's hairy.
No, that's
It's Harry and pink. So Patrick.
you didn't watch SpongeBob.
I saw that episode in Portuguese. Excuse me. Yes, Joe.
It is the Bermuda Triangle wormhole.
Have you been through it?
I haven't gone through it, but several people have, and we haven't found them.
What else
I mean-
Bermuda Triangle?
I mean, if we ever open up a wormhole and suddenly Amelia Earhart's plane is on the other side, yes.
But she vanished in the Pacific.
Yeah, that wasn't weird.
Yes, but an inherent characteristic of wormholes is that they can move if they're unstable. Yes, John. No! Stop! You're opening a can of worms you do not want to open, John.
A can of worms?
Yes!
Hey.
Why is it called a wormhole, John? Listen, this has
It's like the science fiction version of How to Eat Fried Worms, called How to Eat Fried Wormholes.
No, not from me. Maybe from John. But we typically describe them as wormholes because I have no clue. It's a sort of layman's term that makes it easy to explain that you're burrowing through one. Yes.
I know why they're called wormholes.
What is it?
So, you know how like, a long time ago before like food safety and all that was a thing?
Yeah.
And how you always have the thing with a worm like crawling through an apple?
Oh yeah, we had that joke today.
That's where you get the, that's where you
Ah,
get
yes.
from because it burrows in one side, comes out the other. In an apple usually.
Oh yeah, some were called the good old days. I don't want to call those that.
Good old days. You know, the good old days when wormholes were blue and not.
No, they were red because apples are red.
God damn.
They were green and red.
And yellow.
Not that.
I will grow a blue apple and I will make you eat your words.
That's why
Yes, there is.
I know there is.
So it's literally.
So-
John?
Tell me what
Choose your words
blue.
carefully.
What? Tell me.
What?
What is blue? I'm listening.
Blueberries.
No, it's purple.
Blueberries.
No, it's purple.
They're called blueberries.
They're called blueberries. That's a good point.
What's that purple?
Nobody calls them purple berries.
Purple berries sound disgusting. Okay, John, what were you so eloquently trying to say?
Never mind.
I saw another portal.
Okay.
The portal in the toy chest would be one of the movies of Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, where the portal had toy chest to an entire world controlled by an imaginary friend. And then it tried to kill them.
I need to watch that.
What about the portal to Imagination Land?
We already talked about it. We already talked about it, and all I know is that because terrorists happened, South Park's government decided, hey, let's make a portal to another dimension because terrorists.
It was great because it was literally just a Stargate to imagination.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
To imagination land.
It was the parody Stargate.
I need to watch that now.
It's a great three-parter.
So what happens if you're stuck on the other side of a Stargate and can't get back? What?
Live there?
Into the Hulk, you inadvertently take over a planet. And then everything goes to shit.
You fall out of the sky, and indigenous people look upon you as a god, and you move to the end of the day.
Till the end of the day?
End of your days.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the end of the day.
John?
But it's already 7 p.m.
When you go through one wormhole, you come back out, and the world is taken over by monkeys. And then you go back into that wormhole and come out, and the world is even more taken over by monkeys.
No!
Yes,
I'm not
actually.
in the bad one.
No, they make references in the modern ones now.
The bad one is the more accurate one.
Wait, what? There's a book for Planet of the Apes?
Yeah.
And the Mark Wahlberg one is more accurate.
No, not the Mark Wahlberg one, the Ken Burton one.
That's the same one.
Oh, it is the Mark Wahlberg's the new ones.
No, that's the James Franco one.
Oh, okay, never mind.
How many Planet of the Apes movies are there?
Too many.
War for the Planet of the Apes comes up next year.
There's 5 or 6 in the original series. Then there was the one Tim Burton one, and now there's 2 in the third series, about to be 3.
So,
the two most recent ones are really
9? So 9?
But Froyo,
10?
the two most recent ones are really freaking good.
The old ones get weird, but they're good. They get weird.
I've watched them actually. They get,
I only wrote the first one actually. The new one.
The ending of the second just had me yelling blood at the TV for a bit.
I forget what the. I'm not gonna talk about the ending of that movie. No, God, no. But hey, Cameron.
Yeah.
Got any announcements?
Under the drinks thing on Friday.
Did you make a wormhole?
Yes.
I
I'll help out.
Is Star seeing a rival?
No,
No, okay.
because you need too much energy to make a wormhole inside a wormhole. Not to mention that at that point you were literally trying to tear the fabric of space and time.
Look for the same location in space as myself.
No, I imagine it's like, let me get the plate again. So it's like you fold it once, and then you fold it again, and now it's kind of like a cross shape going through different spots of the universe, and I think that's how the transwarp network for the warp works.
Are there 16 wormholes at that point?
2 to the power of 3.
What happens if you go through a wormhole while going through a
If you
wormhole?
hold it that way, there's 4 things you're going through.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. When I poke it through here.
What we actually poking through the holes?
Froyo,
What?
what if you go through a wormhole while going through a wormhole?
That's what we're discussing right now! Opening up another wormhole while you're inside a wormhole, would you go faster or would you go slower?
You can get.
Depends, is it a red wormhole or a blue wormhole?
No, it's a yellow one, actually.
It's a green wormhole.
But do you know the Kid Flash wormhole right now?
How is that different from a flash wormhole?
Because it's slightly slower.
Yes, John.
I think if you put a wormhole inside another wormhole, you could make the universe think it wants to do something by incepting an idea into itself.
We're not messing with Inception, John. Stop it.
Does the eccentric chord play while going through?
What?
The eccentric chord play?
That's constantly on in the background as you're going through wormhole to wormhole.
I'm just imagining like the first time we effectively create a wormhole and go through it, and then somebody just go like, is that an Inception worm? And then they just like turn around and it's just like hear it getting louder and louder. Yes. Hey Cameron. Yeah, what's up? I've been trying to end this for like 5 minutes now.
All right, well, dismiss everybody.
Dismiss!
Ready, here you go.
Yeah. And then.
You gotta open Stargate first.
What?
You gotta open Stargate first.
Boy, I don't want to walk home. Can you make it warmer for me?
Yeah, just walk through this door.
Where are we debriefing?
Right?
Yeah, room.
We can just do it here instead of walking all the way back.
I'm not a wormhole. I've been through that.
Okay, that sounds
You can't
good.
fool me.
Actually,
How do you know?
sorry, reading room is
How
for,
can you separately visit the same
machinery.
That's what it looks like.
I'm watching the room.
You can look is exactly identical to that on the other side. You just don't know.
You finished, you should have.
Oh.